Young just put songs together that are a joy to play, and some, like this, Dreamin Man from 1992 Harvest Moon album, is really, really easy. Really gentle, beautiful melody. There are some great live versions of him playing it out there, but if you haven't checked out any of the live ones, be sure to listen to them. And imagine you're already familiar with the tune, which is probably why you're watching this. It is like a lot of his songs, he uses the double drop D tuning. 6th string down to D, 1st string down to D. Now that means that many of the chords are going to have, well, actually all the chords are going to have a different sound than what they have now, but he also fingers many of them in a standard way. What we hear a lot is a C chord, played with just the open D ringing on the top, giving us a C add 9, one of his typical things to do. He also uses 4-string bar chords, like he does in The Loner, Cinnamon Girl, all kinds of other songs, that give us this a little different sound than what you could get with it in standard tuning. Partly because of the droning of the D in the bass and the open A that falls in there as well. So we're going to take a look at just the very simple chord progression. There's a cool little fill. And there are a couple of chords that happen up at the 4th and 5th frets. So little breakdown of very easy Neil Young song, Dreamin Man. We'll talk a little bit about the strumming, but it's really pretty simple. You just play, if I was playing a D chord, the D chords are played a few different ways, and one of them, though, one of the main ways of playing D in the double drop D tuning is, of course, leaving the 1st string open. So we get this heavy drone. It's really a D5 when we play it that way because there are no thirds in the chord, so it's a D power chord. It's one of the sounds that we hear, especially in this. So that happens at the end of the little fill. The fill starts off with harmonics and then some notes up on the first string. So coming up, a little breakdown of Neil Young's Dreamin Man. Now that you've seen it, especially without any other instruments and things, it also would be really good for you to try to figure out what's going on. There are a few really unusual things there, but there may have been enough visual clues in what I did for you to figure out what some of the chords are. They're very easy, but slightly unusual and slightly dissonant. It ends with a really strange chord at the very end. So, of course, it ends at the very end. Anyway, we'll take a look at the chords, we'll talk about the strumming, we'll take a look at the arrangement, and then we'll talk about the fill, and then you will have a lesson on Dreamin' Man.